See here in the RGB example, I have to take a different LED. So here is a one LED. I have a two LEDs with me. Okay, see here. This LED is a normal one. Okay, it has only two legs. This LED has a normal one. It has only two legs. One is a positive and a negative. Okay, and this gives me only one color. Okay, red, white, or whatever. This gives me a one color, and I have one more LED here. This is a one more LED. Okay, one more LED which has a 4 pins. Okay, which has a 4 pin. Which has a 4 pin. Please, someone is talking. Please unmute yourself. The person who don't have his name and all, he did not kept any name. Please unmute your mic. Okay. See here, it has a 4 legs, and here one leg is a high one. Only one, see, all legs are not equal. One is lower, one is little higher than that, and one is bigger, and one more is little higher. Okay, the bigger one is you have to connect to the ground pin, or you have to see the different. Here we have to use 3 resistors, that is 220 ohm or 330 ohm, and one is a common ground pin. See, whichever is a higher one you have to use for that ground, and other 3 you have to use for a common. You have to connect with the resistor value, and one you have to connect with the ground value. So this way you have to use this RGB LED. Okay, just a second. Okay, this is a RGB LED display, and here what are the parts required? Arduino board is required, and also breadboard half size, and RGB LED, and 330 ohm resistor or jumper wires. Okay, and this is the RGB connection. As I said, you have to take a RGB. It has a 4 leg, 3 leg. You are connecting to the output pin. 1 leg is to the ground pin, and those 3 legs which are connected to the output pins, those has to connected with the help of in between resistor is required, 330 ohm or 220 ohm. So 3 pins I am connected with the resistors, and then I have connected to the pin number 9, 10, and 11. Okay, and one pin I am connected to that black one. I have connected to the ground one. Okay, this is my RGB connection, and actually this has a quite big program because I have to display different colors. Okay, what color you want to display, that you have to mention here. So I'll just quickly tell about this program. See here, it has a 3 standard colors: RGB, red, green, and blue. It has a 3 pins, also standard pins. Those are integer value. 9, 10, 11 is the output pins of these 3 green colors, and display time I'll kept as a 1000 millisecond. Then those 3 pins again I put as a output pin. Okay, then in my loop I have to repeat the combination of this. So when there is I can make after this 1000 millisecond, I have to make my LEDs to be off. Then while displaying, if I want to display a red color, only a red color, I have to again mention here, red pin high, green and blue should be a low. If you want to get only a red color display, you want your LED has to glow only a red color, means you have to make other 2 has to be a low. So here I mean green and blue as a low, and I have to mention the display time. Here I given a standard display time in the integer that will be followed, and red pin and all I have already defined, so those mentions will be taken here. And again, if you want to get only a green color, then what I have to do, I have to make a green as a high, and red and blue should be a low. Okay, and if you want to get only a blue color, so red and green should be a low, and if you want to get a yellow color, so that is a mix of red and green. Okay, if you mix a red and green, you will get a yellow color. To get a yellow color, I have to make a red pin and green pin high. Okay, then you will get a yellow color. And in the color thing, we have one more color, shine color, that is combination of green and blue. If you mix a green and blue, it will give a one more color, that is not a yellow or other thing, that is shine. In that case, you have to know, you should know what is the combination of this color. Suppose you want to know yellow, how yellow color is produced. The basic thing you should know, it's a combination of red and green. Then only you can make a red and green high. If you don't know how yellow color is getting displayed, you cannot write this program. Again, it will be a mix of all the colors it will go. Okay, so here to get a sign, I have to make a green and blue high and red is a low. Okay, and if you want to get a purple color usually how you'll get red with the blue color. Okay, it's a combination of red and blue. So red is a high and green is a high, blue is a high and green is a low. So similarly, if you want to get a white LED color, white display, for that your all LED should be high. Okay, for that your all LED should be high. Okay, this is how you have to write a program. It's a simple program. Okay, if you go with the other MATLAB or somewhere other platform, it's a too difficult to mention. It's a very easy. Just give a integer standard value of pin numbers, give in the setup which is the output pins, and write in the loop which color you want to get a display. The simple program. And suppose you want to show the spectrum color at a time. I hope you know what else colors are there in the spectrum. I don't want to explain here. It's a combination of all RGB. So here I'll write a loop. Start with the X0 and X77. So here combination of my all RGB. RGB is a X color. So here red in I have to mention what is the RGB. Then here brightness value I have to put. Here is a loop to get the spectrum color. Okay. So this is how we have written the RGB program. Okay, I'll just open the code. I have already set up code. See, I want to tell one more thing. If you return a code, okay, or if you downloaded the code from Google or somewhere website, and if it is in the Arduino format, okay, see here I have already taken a one RGB LED program, and here I have showed it is in the Arduino file, and if you click just on that file, directly it will open your Arduino window. Again, no need to go Arduino and open the program, nothing. Like how you can directly open the MATLAB file, like that you can directly open the Arduino file. So here I have a program which is I have not stored in the I have not saved in the Arduino software. I have kept in separate folder. I'll open that. So it will directly go to the Arduino IDE. Okay, so here whatever I written the program, same which I have showed in the slides. I have to see the again program. This is a full program. You have to mention display time, spectrum color if you want, then intensity, everything. Then you have to check again which port it is connected. It is at COM6C. Okay, then you have to check your program. Okay, compiling is done. Then I have to upload. Okay, so I'll stop the screen sharing. I'll show output. See, you can see the here. I hope you are. It is giving a different colors. Now this is one color, different colors. Blue color, combination of blue, again fully green, again it is a different color. Okay, yellow, blue, again spectrum color. Okay, because I have a more light here, if it is in the dark room, you can feel all the type of colors. Okay, I hope everyone are able to see these connections. Okay, I have taken a LEDs, one LED with a 4 leg, and here 3 resistors and one middle one, this one. Okay, Aishwarya Mane, put your video audio off. Okay, okay, see here now. See, this is the connection thing. 3 resistors I have taken and one with a common ground. Okay, this is my Arduino connection. Here I have connected to the 8, 9, 10. Okay, I hope you all understood. I'll just close this program and again I'll start screening. Okay, I'll just close this program. Okay, next we'll go with the example 8, that is a DHT11 model. Okay, interfacing a DHT11 model. So what is a DHT11? I'll tell. So this is a DHT11 is humidity and temperature sensor. This is a one unique sensor which has a 2 features. It will give a room temperature humidity value, and also it will give a room temperature value. So other sensors also available which gives only a temperature, and only a other sensors are there only a humidity value. So this is a one DHT11, 12, 13, many are there. So this is a one sensor which has a 2 features, that is a temperature and the humidity. So humidity means what? The water content or a water drop level in the environment, drop water content in the environment, and temperature is whatever heat you are feeling, that is a temperature. So that value we have to check, and this register value you can check output in the comp only, or serial monitor, or else you can connect this output to the LCD display. You can check there, you can continuously display what is the room temperature and what is the humidity of the room. Okay, so these are the pin diagrams it has. Just a second. See here, you can see, just see my picture. Here I have a DHT11 sensor which has 3 pins. Okay, which has a 3 pins and which has a one LED also. Why LED? If you are given a power to the LED, it will blink. So it will be confirmed that LED, this sensor getting a power. And these 3 legs, one for in backside it is written. So here front only is written, one for VCC, one for data, and one for ground. So here same thing. In the diagram also I have mentioned, first one for VCC, second one for data, whatever data it is capturing, and third one is a ground value. Okay, alright, it is connected to the ground. And here see, I want to mention, if you connect this sensor, easily you won't get an output from the Arduino. For that, Arduino what other feature has, it requires a libraries, because some function it don't have inbuilt function to such type sensors, actuators, servo motors, relay, or a LCD, Bluetooth, RF, NRF. If you are using some other features, you have to supporting library should be there. Supporting means information about the board should be installed in the Arduino. Okay, for to use this sensor, whatever sensor you are using, for that sensor library file is required, and you will get in the, if you type in the Google library for file for DHT11, it will come as a 1-zip folder. You can install it. See here is like this. If you type in the Google, in any platform, DHT library Arduino file, or for a Arduino DHT library file you have to type. So you'll get in a zip file. What you have to do, you have to download it, and after downloading you have to go to the I'll show while doing program. You have to go to the Arduino site, Arduino programming window. There you have to attach that library. There's a one option, include my library, and before including, add my library. So when you click the add library, it will open your downloading window, downloader. There you have to select where your downloader has this zip folder. You just give that space and give it as an open. It will add to your Arduino suite. Then after adding, you have to check, you have to tell again, include my library. Again, in that library, if you click on include library, in that add library, it will be there. You have to just include to your Arduino libraries. So for such sensors and all, downloading such libraries are must, or else your program won't be uploading or won't be running. Okay. So this is about DHT library file. Okay. Then this is a connection. As I said, this is a connection. This is a very simple one. What you have to take a sometime breadboard is also not required. See, please don't use annotate. If you use annotate, some marks will come on my window. Okay. Don't use annotate or that pencil mark. Don't use any pencil mark. Just listen, or if you are not interested, just quit the session. Don't disturb others. See here, humidity and sensor, it has a 3 pins. So I have connected my VCC to my 5 volt. Red color is a VCC. Then I have connected my information or data to the pin number 8. Okay. And see here, if you are using a pin number 8, you have to mention in the program. If you are using any other pins, whatever pin you are using, you have to mention in that program which pin you are taking the information. Okay. And other one is a ground pin. Okay. Next one. See, here is the program. Okay. Here is the program, and the right one is a port where you can check values of your present humidity and room temperature. I have taken yesterday's value. So that is yesterday in my home. It was a okay. After 10 minutes, it will go. I'll create immediately link. No worries. Be on the WhatsApp group. Okay. So yesterday I have taken a screenshot. In there, it was a temperature 29 and humidity was 38. Okay. So that sentence you can change anything. See here what I written. I mentioned pin 3. Okay. And I have mentioned here what should be what you are doing, temperature and humidity detector you are using, and here what it has to display, my current density humidity. Here you can check, you can change the name, my room humidity or whatever, it's no problem. And here the temperature also I have written, that will give in the output. So quickly we'll see the program in the Arduino. See, I'll show before that connection only. 1 second. See, this is the connection. Here I have connected. My power is already coming to the sensor, and here I have connected. For this, breadboard is not required. If you want to breadboard, what you have to do? If you want to use a breadboard, take this sensor, put in the breadboard like this, and from the breadboard you connect the other pins. Okay. Here I have less breadboards, so I have directly connected to the sensor. Okay. So we'll see in the programming window. I'll open again Arduino suite. Okay. Now what previous example is there? I'll just go file and I'll open, and here I have written humidity and temperature. Okay. And here, while giving a file name, keep in mind, don't give exact name. Suppose I am using a DST11. Don't give a file name as DST11. So it will get confused which DST11 you are telling. You are talking about the library file or you are talking about the program. So use a different name. That's why I have given not a humidity completely, not a temperature completely. Give other name for your identification sake. Okay. So I'll click that. I'll just open. Okay, so just close previous one. See here, I said I have installed the DST11 library. See, go to the tools, no need, sketch, go to the sketch. Here is a add file. Okay, if you go to the add file, then you can go to the downloads or wherever you have kept, then you have to add that library. And after adding library, again, there is a include library. See here, add zip file, a zip library. Okay, in there you can add your files or a library files. Okay, now here is a program already is written, so I'll check my port is connected or not. It's not connected. Okay, now I'll verify my program. Okay, then I'll upload my program. Okay, it's uploaded. Then I'll go to the serial monitor. See, in my serial monitor, I can see my values. Temperature, current humidity in my room is a 55. It is not a entire countries or entire district or state. It is only a my room. It is a current humidity is 55 and temperature is 25. And in the program, you can again write, now this is a 27 degrees Celsius. You can put in the Fahrenheit also. For that, you have to write the Fahrenheit formula, how temperature, this Celsius value we have to take, plus you have to add a Fahrenheit value. Then display that. You can modify, because I'm showing just a basic thing. You have to use properly. I'm telling how to use the sensors. You have to use your properly. So this is giving along with the time. Now it's a 10:35. Okay. So 27 is my room temperature and humidity is changing. Sometimes it's giving a 50, 53 because when I started program it was 55. Now it is little more light has come. Now it is a 51, 54 again 57. Okay. This is about my temperature and humidity sensor. Okay, so you can see, I'll show again. You can see the connection here. I have taken this VCC, ground, everything. I have connected to my pins, Arduino pins. Okay, who is Redmi? Please mute yourself, Redmi. Okay, so this is one as a humidity and temperature. Okay, quickly I'll go with the next one. This is, I think, 1 second. So now temperature and humidity is over. I hope you all understood. Just put in a chat if you are understood or not, yes or no. You are getting my points now, what I'm telling? Yes or no? You understood my humidity and temperature sensor connection, pin diagram, everything? Yes or no? Put in the chat. Hello? Am I audible or not? Hello? At least raise your hands. Am I audible or not? You are getting or not? Okay. Thank you, Bhima Shankar. Okay. So because whenever I tell you have to put, because for my confirmation it is needed, or else it like I'm just telling and you are not getting, that will happen. Okay. So I'll go with the next one. This is the IR sensor. Okay, IR sensor is infrared sensor. Okay, infrared sensor. I'll just show one sensor. I hope you are able to see here my side video. See here, it has a 4 legs, but we are using only a 3 legs, and here it has a 2 LEDs. One LED work as a one LED will be a PD or a proximity. One will act as a proximity thing, and other one will act as a photo detector. Means one for it sends a signal for longer distance, and if any obstacle comes, it will reflect back. That reflected signal will be reflect on the white color LED. Then it will show the signal like something obstacle has come. So for that purpose, there's a 2 LEDs, one for black sending the signals and one for receiving the signals. And you can control your range. Here there's a one pin is given. You can that's a knob type. You can rotate and you can control your distances. Okay, this is of IR sensor. Components for this experiment is required: IR sensor, LED, Arduino cables, and jumper wire and Arduino board. Okay, so this is the pin diagram. As I say, one is IR receiver and one is IR emitter LED. So one will just transmit the signal, and any obstacle comes, that obstacle signal which is obstructed by the any wall or anything, that signal reflect back, then reflected will receive, and it will tell me like there's a some disturbance in the while sending and receiving the signal. Usually this IR sensor where they'll use for suppose these blind people, physically challenged people, they have a their stick, blind stick, to they use for to walk. It has this IR sensor because while going on the way, if any say wall comes or any stone comes on the road or any vehicle comes on the door, okay, the signal won't transfer. The signal won't transfer. It reflects back. When the signal reflects back, they'll get an indication some obstacle there on the my way. Okay, so they'll get an instruction and they'll stop and they'll change the path. Okay, the sticks has this facility, so which always continuously sends a signal. When the signal is get any disturbance, it will reflect back. They'll understood because they have a LED indication or they have a buzzer with a okay, okay. I'll just share the screen. See here, I was telling about the. Am I audible, right? Am I audible? Okay. Okay, I'll start now. See, I was telling about the IR sensor pin connection. See here, I said we can. I told one example also, like where you can use, like I said, physically disabled people. They uses a that stick which help them for to go in their way. If any obstacle comes, this sensor will help them to indicate like something is there. You change the way. Okay, you can put a recorded. When obstacle comes, you can put a one recorded signal to that. It will tell that person like you change the path, or you can tell like some buzzer or some message. So based on that indication, he will change his route. So it required 3 to 6 volt and current at 23 milliampere. Okay, and this is about the pin description. It has 3 pin. Usually we use a 3, one for signal out, VCC, and the ground. Okay, and this is the connection. This is the connection thing. Again, I have to use a one LED. Why I'm using LED light? I want to check because I have not built any big application. Any obstacle comes, that LED will on. If my signal is going smoothly, that LED will be off. Okay. If any obstacle comes in the between, that LED will on. It says that for my identification, some obstacle is there in the path. Okay. So this way, So I'll just put a hand in front of those LEDs. My LED will on. If I remove my hand, the LED will go off. And connection is simple, as I said, LED pin and the pin diagrams. Okay. I'll just connect my hardware. Okay. Next is, this is a program, the simple program. Okay. Just you have to mention where is your sensor input or output pin, and you have to tell, because you are using a LED, so you have to tell where is where you have kept your LED. That's the pin number 13. And IR sensor is the input for my Arduino, and LED is the output for the Arduino. Okay. And what you have to display, what is this reading? The reading IR sensor value. Okay. When it goes, any obstacle comes, usually it is a low only. Any obstacle comes, it will be a high. Okay. So I'll open my program. I'll just run it. Arduino. Okay. I'll just open my IR sensor program. I have written already. It is in the file. Here IRS I have written file name. I have to open it, and previous one I have to close it. And here, see here, same program. I have to check my port again. It is not detected. I have to connect it, and I have to verify. So now compiling is done. I have to upload the program. It's uploading. Okay. Actually now my it's working fine. I'll just show in the, I'll stop the share. See here, this is the connection. Okay, now my LED is off. I hope here in the Arduino board you can see LED is off, and in other end I have a IR sensor. In other end I have sensor. I'll just fold like this. See here, one side is a left side is a my left is side LED is there, it is off, and other side is IR sensor. If I put any hand, my LED will on, so it will give me an indication my signal is not going, there's a one obstacle. Okay, if I remove, it will go off. Okay, it will go off. If I put any paper also, which is not, my signal should not transmit to the other side, so my paper is not transmitting, so it will be off. Okay, so this is a, see here, one LED is sending, another LED is making reply. Okay, I hope you are able to see. If I put, and if I put a computer, see now, if I put to the laptop screen also, it is off. Okay, any small obstacle comes, so it will go off. Now I put one transparent paper, it's a plastic paper. Okay, Aksh, please. Okay, I put one transparent paper, so my signal is passing. Okay, if I put any other thing, my signal is not passing. This is about my IR sensor. I hope everyone is understood. Yes, just raise your hands or a chat. Okay, okay, thanks Amir. I'll go to the next program. I'll just remove this connection. Okay. Next is Bluetooth module. Okay, next is the Bluetooth module. So here why this is very important module. Suppose you are doing a robot, okay, and that also you are doing a wireless robot, okay, wireless robot or a wired robot, and you want to control that robot with your mobile, because you don't want that switch thing which makes you left, right, move back and all. So that everything you want to control with your mobile phone. Okay, for such applications you can use this Bluetooth model. In the same way, if you want to close your automatic door on and off, you can use this example, and you can make a automatic mobile your fan on and off, light on and off. You can use this, but should be connected, because I'll, so this is a Bluetooth model. What all things you are controlling LED here? I'm just displaying with a LED. I don't have any other robotic model here. When college starts, I'll show my robot model with these all examples. Okay, I'll include those all examples in the robot. You can tell, you can see how it is useful in making a robot. These all examples. Okay, now I'll just show the LED thing. LED using a smartphone control. Okay, here this is what how it works. Okay, it has three main parts. One is an Android device, that is which has a Bluetooth, okay, to make a on and off signal or to control the signal. And one more is Bluetooth device is required, then Arduino is required. See here what happens, my control signal from the analog device, it goes to the Bluetooth device, and Bluetooth again sends a signal to the Arduino, and it controls my whatever object. Because my other end here I have used LED, so controlling of the LED, I have to send a signal to the Arduino. How I am sending? With the help of the Bluetooth. And from where I am sending? From the Android device, for a whatever Bluetooth range is there. As for now, I think 100 meter is a Bluetooth device range, so I can control my Arduino LED and on and off from placing at the 100 meter distance. So these are the three components are required for my Bluetooth module. And see, here is a Bluetooth connection. So very simple. You can use it with help of breadboard. Connect to the breadboard. I'll just show one Bluetooth module. Here I have. So this is my Bluetooth module. Standard one we are using, not any China models. This is all Texas things. Okay. So this has many pins. Okay. This is a Bluetooth HC05. Okay. HC05 Bluetooth, and backside the pin description is given. Backside the pin description is given VCC, TX, RX, ground and all. So this you can connect this. Suppose this is my breadboard. Okay, this is my breadboard. If you want to use with the help of breadboard, just put here, okay, and connect the cables in front of that. If you want to directly use, you can directly use how I shown in the diagram. Okay, this is the connection. Here, as I said, in my Arduino Bluetooth Arduino board, there's a two pins are there, digital side, 0 and 1. So one for transmitting and one for receiving. Okay, so here keep in mind, whatever my Arduino sends, okay, suppose I am sending a signal or anything from the Arduino, so my Arduino is what? Transmitting. So here that transmitter connection should be at Bluetooth side at receiver, because whatever I am sending from the Arduino, my Bluetooth has to receive. For that, my Arduino transmitting pin has to connect with the Bluetooth receiving pin. And if you are sending any signal from the transmitting side of the Bluetooth, so your Bluetooth transmitter has to connect with the Arduino receiver. So vice versa, you should not connect TX to the TX and RX to the RX. And another thing, while uploading the program with the help of laptop or Arduino suite, connect everything. Connect your robot or LED, make a power to the thing, do the connection of 5 volt, this Bluetooth model thing, okay, and ground also. But what do you have to do? You should not connect it transmitting and receiving thing. Okay, don't connect this transmitting and receiving. Don't connect transmitting and receiving, because if you connect transmitting and receiving, what Arduino thinks that I'm sending some values. So you will get 100% error in your program. So when you have to connect RX TX to the Bluetooth after uploading your program to the Arduino. Okay, so make sure connect everything. LED also you connect, give a power, give a Arduino Bluetooth power also, but only don't connect RX and TX pin of any side. Okay, then upload. Once uploading is done perfectly, then connect, then transmitting will happen so smoothly. Okay, um, so this is the thing, and here is the program. This is a very simple program. Okay, incoming starting it, I have a zero values or a zero indication, then I have to read those more than zero characters. I have to put the conditions. Okay, then whatever high level or low level. Okay, so this is about the programming, and this is a connection. This is my connection, what I did while testing I did. So here this is the connection. Arduino I have taken, Bluetooth connection I have taken, I have a smartphone. And I want to tell one more thing. I think I have stored in the slides. No. Okay, see what you have to do. You have to install one LED controller app in your mobile phone. Okay, that you will get from Amazon Play Store or a normal Google this Play Store. So you have to go to the Play Store in your mobile and install LED controller. Okay, once you install the LED controller, you will get a one file. That app will get LED app. In my mobile I have that. I'll just show. See, I think you can able to see here one is there. I think LED controller. Sorry, I can. Here red one. See here, LED controller app is there. You have to install that. Once you open, it will get two things: on and off, and Bluetooth modules you will get. There you have to do the pairing device. Once pairing is done, then connection will happen. Then you can control your on and off of the LED with the help of smartphone. So main thing, you have to install the LED controller app. Okay, I have did a one video. Just see that video. I'm not able to play that video, I think. Okay, I'll separately play that video. No worry. Okay, I'll just so this is about the Arduino thing. I'll show open the thing. I'll open the file. I have did one video also. Okay, it's not playing. Leave. I'll just show. I'll open the programming. I'll just now, or else I'll open from here. I have did that video. Okay, you can see this. Okay. Okay, I hope everyone has saw that video. It was playing properly, or yes or no? It was playing or not? Okay, I'll go with the programming thing. We'll see that programming how it happens. Okay, so I'll open. Okay, I'll open my Arduino thing. I have already kept the Bluetooth program. I'll open that Bluetooth program. Blue. Okay. Okay. See, this is the program. Just a second. This is the program where I have to mention, as I mentioned already. This is the thing I have to see. Program pin number output, and I'll check a port number. See, it's a port 4. Okay, then I'll run 1 second. Okay, I'll just run the check the program. Okay, its compiling is done. So now I have to check my Bluetooth is working or not. I'll just open LED. I'll do the pairing. Okay, see here I'm controlling. I'll check. One second. I'll just check again this program. I'll just upload once again. This way error I'm getting. It's uploading. Some error I got. Program is not responding. I'll just check port. Okay, some error is there. Okay, error was, as I said, while uploading the program, you have to remove the transmitter and receiver pin. I forgot that and I was uploading. Okay, so again select a port. It was a COM port and verify it. Now my transmitting and receiving pin are open. Now I'll upload. Okay, I'll upload the thing. Then after uploading, now I'll connect the my transmitting and receiving pins. Just a second. That pin got struck. TX to the RX. Okay. Okay, some error. I'll just show in the last. I'll just show the connection. How I did the connection. See here, this is the connection thing. I hope you are. This is a connection I have connected. Power is coming. Okay, some cable is missed. Okay, power is coming here. Red. It is blinking red. Okay, and here I have put the LED on the board. Okay, LED on the board, and here there is my app. Okay, here is the app. I have installed app, and if I press on, LED will on, and if I press off, LED will go off. Okay, so this is how, and I have already shown the video. Some error in there. I don't want to waste time on that. Okay, so this is how that works, and quickly we'll go with the next one. Just hold. Once again. I'll share the screen again. We'll do next programming. Let's next one is NRF model. NRF model program. Here, see this one is, as I said, Bluetooth is only for 100 meters. Okay, Bluetooth is 100 meters, and you want to communicate between two people. And if Bluetooth is a one-way side, like a computer is required, and you are sending a signal and receiving a signal. For a controlling purpose, you are using a Bluetooth. Okay, again, suppose for example, I'm sending a one picture to you in your mobile. First, I have to make a pairing. I have to send, and immediately you cannot send anything to me. Okay, again you have to do the pairing, and I have to be in the position to receive the signal. Then only I can able. There is no any uh, uh, one-to-one communication. It's a one-way communication. First I have to send, again you have to reconnect back. In that, things happen in the Bluetooth model. But in the NRF, here we are using a RF signal, and this is the Bluetooth model, sorry, NRF model we use for a communication purpose. Okay, we use this NRF for a communication purpose. I'll just show one NRF. I have not. 1 second. Yes, this is a one NRF. It's a very small device. Okay, very small device. Okay, but you can do the communication around 1 kilometer. Okay, there's a communication between one device to the other device. You can do freely communication from 1 kilometer distance in between one person to the other person. For to do this communication, you require two such type of NRF models. Okay, for that reason I have kept two pictures in this slide. Two NRF, one will act as a sender, other will act as a receiver, and you can change the way. You can act as that as a receiver, and I can as a sender. Okay, so while doing a connection with the NRF and the Arduino, what is required? Two Arduino boards are required. Okay, two Arduino boards are required, and two NRFs are required. Okay, you can get in the eBay website. This NRF module will be available. Okay, two NRFs are required, and two breadboards are required. Okay, and you have to install library file of this NRF. That is, you can get here. I use Radiohead library. From their website I have downloaded the library, so you can also follow, or you will get from many different websites. You have to download the library, unzip, you have to attach to your Arduino software. Okay, then this is the NRF pin connections. Okay, so it has totally 8 pins. Okay, it has a totally 8 pins. one for VCC, one for ground, and one for enabling the communication, another for receiving, and another for transmitting. And we are not using any IRQ because we are not sending any infrared signal or any IR communication here. So we are not using this example. So this is about my NRF module pin structure. This is a pin detail. So I required a ground and I required a power. This is a 3.3 volt power. Chip enable for a communication. CE pin is there. I have to enable that. And CSN, chip select not. Okay, chip select not. This is to be kept high always because it has to enable the communication. And serial clock, I have to provide the clock signal for to send the my data or anything. And master out in, this is connected to the MCU or there's a controller, and which receives the data, and one more is which transfers the data. This is the pin description. And see here, as I said, you can take as a one as a receiver, and you can make many other transmitting models. See here, I have in diagram one NRF is a RX. RX is a receiving model. I can send that receiving to from different type of the transmitter. So you can do many transmitting model and one receiving model. So many people can send the information. Okay, in another 10 minutes it will go. This is the last example. I will show for that another 10-15 minutes is required. So once the session goes, I'll send one more link because I want to finish this, or else it will be a half only. Okay, after this example, we'll close the session. We'll do how much I covers in this 10 minutes, and immediately I'll create one more link. Okay, after finishing this example, we'll close the session. Okay, so see here, as I said, I can do many transmitters. I can send a many message to my receiver. So it acts like a, I have one center, receiving center at my college, and you are sending a message to from different branches. So one administrator has a receiving center, and we have a college different branch, 5 branch. All 5 branch actually is want to send the information to the administrator. So I'll create this channel. We'll send a message to the administrator. Okay, so my administrator will receive from all different type of sections. So such type of communication I can use this modules. Okay, so in this, as I said, you can create a 125 channels. Okay, one as a receiver, you can create a other 125 as a transmitting channels. Okay, or else one transmitting, many receiving also we can do. Both the ways can happen in this. One receiving, other many ways are transmitting, or many transmitting and one as a receiving. So you can create a 125 channels like that. So 125 channels means 125 modules are required. Okay, so here is the connection diagram. Here is the connection diagram. See, we have did one for the client side, means transmitter side. Here I have taken as a client side. So this is a client side connection. I have to do all ground has to go ground, and VCC has to go 3.2, and all MC1 whatever I told, those have to connect here. And this is a server side also same connection. Server side also same, or a receiver transmitter side and receiver side. Okay, and here is the I am showing directly output here. I'll just connect. I will connect my hardware thing. Okay, so here what no. One COM8 watt is a I'm sending a signal. So here is a client, and COM5 is my server. COM8 watt he is sending? He is sending hello world to the COM5. So here is a message sending to the NRF24 server. What I sent? Hello world. And what reply I got? Got a reply and hello back to you. And here in the server, what is? Got a request from that other end, hello world, and I have sent a reply. And what reply he has sent? That other person was got. What reply? Hello back to you. So like that you can do the communication between two modules. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just open my programs. Be 2 minutes, or else what I'll do, I'll end this session. It will be difficult me to create. I'll end this session. Immediately I'll create a new session. I'll show the connection and we'll close the sessions. Okay. So I'll be closing this meeting. I'll create a new meeting. Join quickly on that.